him as best you can. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Counsel, please state your name for the record.
Matthew Phillips, Your Honor, on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
Very good. I have Ms. Jacks here on behalf of the state. And Mr. Ramos, there was an indictment issued yesterday for first-degree murder. There is probable cause. And what is the state's position with respect to bond?
Your Honor, Mr. Ramos is charged with a capital felony. He's not entitled to bond. This is a case where proof is evident and the presumption of his guilt is great, so we would ask that he continue to be held, no bond.
And I know Your Honor, you need more information before you can make any decision about that. And I think
Yes,
Mr. Ramos
sir.
understands that also.
All right.
So we won't be, presenting you with a bail motion today.
It's come to my attention that Mr. Ramos is making repeated telephone calls to the next of kin, Danny Clevenger. I would ask that this court impose an order and direct Mr. Ramos to cease and desist from contacting Danny Clevenger with regard to anything related to this case or otherwise. There needs to be no contact between Mr. Ramos and the husband of the deceased.
Well,
Actually, it probably protects him not to be able to contact those folks.
again, if it's a concern, it's been relayed to me by members of Mr. Ramos' extended family about that issue. If Your Honor thinks it's appropriate, we can always address that at a later time.
Fair enough.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Ramos? Yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead and issue it at this time, Ms. Jacks, and I think that probably protects him as well, so no contact. Good afternoon, Mr. Porras. All right, not that I expect you to say a whole lot today, but let me get you sworn in.
Okay, raise your right hand as best you can. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Counsel, if you
Asked
could.
for is the court to impose the standard bond and follow the bond schedule. Mr. Porras has no prior criminal history, no prior juvenile history, has never had any issues.
There is a concern for flight as a result of the very serious nature of the charges against him, that Mr. Porras was aware that a murder had been committed by his friend. He chose to stay at school all day without telling a teacher, without telling another adult, knowing that his friend has committed a very dangerous act.
In response to the state's asking for $200,000, that's tantamount to no bond. Mr. Porras is 17 years old. He doesn't work. He's still a minor at this point in time. $15,000 is the standard amount. He has no criminal history, no juvenile history.
He said $100,000 with the conditions set forth by the state.
Judge, just to clarify, that is no contact by in person, by another person, by third party, social media of any kind, phone call, nothing. So.
No contact means no contact.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, hello again, Mr. Seglerek. We have your attorney on the phone.
There's a few factors of concern. Number one is the seriousness of this offense. Number two is, just like I had indicated to the court previously, Mr. Seglerek knew all day long that Gregory Ramos had committed a murder of his mother. Mr. Seglerek stayed at school all day with Gregory Ramos, knowing this information, did not share that with anyone. Instead, went with Gregory Ramos and staged a botched robbery or burglary, destroying the crime scene. These are serious charges. There was testimony offered that during the interview, Mr. Seglerek had mentioned several times that he didn't expect to live until his 18th birthday, and threatening to do what sounded like self-harm. So there are concerns. I believe that there is a history of mental illness and Baker Act with respect to Mr. Seglerek. No contact with any of the co-defendants, no contact with the family of the decedent, no leaving Volusia County, electronic monitoring. The state is requesting, again, no drugs or alcohol or NWAs.
Actually, my biggest concern is the mental health issue, and actually, I'm kind of worried about him. I'm gonna leave the no bond in place. Let me tell you why. I want you to understand, Mr. Seclair, I'm actually kind of worried about you. Not doing this to punish you, I'm worried.
His case was assigned to Judge Zambrano. The arraignment is December 6th at 8:30. I'm gonna go ahead and do a motion to transfer to all the cases to Weston so that they can follow Gregory Ramos's case. It's the same date for arraignment, and so I believe we'll hopefully be able to get those placed all together.
I have some component to make sure we have a safety net in place for him. I don't want to lose him. I'm just kind of concerned for his well-being. So I'm gonna go ahead and defer. Okay?
I understand, Judge. At this point, I understand the court's position. Obviously, we would object to the not granting of a bond in this case.
Your objection is so noted, counsel. Just whatever you do, whatever plan you have in place, please make sure there's some mental health overlay for this young man.
Understand, Judge.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm gonna leave the no bond in place, and then, counsel, you know where I'm going with that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I
very
do, Judge.
good. Okay,
Yes.
all right, good luck to you, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, there is still a no mix order in place. Would you also order no contact with the family of the next of
Mr.
kin?
Seclair, I just want you to understand, I told this to all of you guys, all right? There's no contact between any of you. I know Judge Jolly's probably told that to you as well. No contact means no contact, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.